Hello everyone and welcome to my video. Well, our today's topic is about Article 20 of the Indian Constitution. Well, this article is really important for the students, those who are interested in understanding the criminal acts such as the Indian Penal Code, the Criminal Procedure Code, Indian Evidence Acts, etc. Well, this article provides an essential base for the understanding of the protection in regards to the conviction of the offences. Article 20 is one of the pillars of the fundamental rights that has been guaranteed by the Constitution of India. Well, when an individual as well as corporations are accused of a crime or an offence, the provisions of Article 20 safeguards their rights. Well, the striking feature of the Article 20 is that it can't be suspended during an emergency period. Also, this article has set certain limitations on the legislative powers of the union and the state government. So, let us begin with our next topic, that is Clause 1 of Article 20 of the Indian Constitution, which states that no person shall be convicted of an offence except for the violation of a law in force at the time of commission of an act charged as an offence, nor be subjected to a penalty greater than that which might have been inflicted under the law in the force at the time of commission of the offence. So, moving forward, the usual term which we use to denote Article 20 Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution is the ex post facto laws, which means the laws which have been brought into the force after the commission of the act. In simpler words, no individual can be convicted for their actions which have been committed before the enactment of the law. Ordinarily, the legislature has the power to make prospective laws, but Article 20 of the Indian Constitution provides certain safeguards to the person that has been accused of a crime. So, let me add here an example for better understanding. So, on 20th May, there is this person who has committed a crime and whose punishment is for 4 years. On 30th May, there has been an amendment made regarding the same crime in the law, and the punishment has been increased from 4 years to 6 years. So, in this case, the person who has committed the crime would be get punished for 4 years and not the 6 years, because he has committed the crime on 20th May and not on 30th May. Therefore, the laws that has been amendment won't be applicable and won't be valid for this case. In this case, the laws which were there on 20th May would be valid, and he would be punished for 4 years and not 6 years. Therefore, the day and the time in which the offences has been committed is very, very crucial. And also, this clause deals with the first time offences and when the punishments has been enhanced. Moving on to the clause 2 of Article 20 of the Indian Constitution, which reads that no person shall be prosecuted and punished for the same offence more than once. Well, this clause is commonly related to the provision of double jeopardy. In the case of Maqbool Hussain versus the state of Bombay, the word prosecution was discussed in great detail. The word prosecution basically means the formal accusation, which includes all the normal legal procedures that has to be done in a case, and when the judicial authorities interprets the facts of the case and actually makes a decision, only then it would be considered as a proper prosecution, the process of proper prosecution. Therefore, yes, we agree that the person who has committed an offence should not be punished for it more than once, but there are 3 important essentials for the clause 2 of Article 20. First, the person has to be prosecuted according to the law with the proper legal procedure. Second, the term and is really important here. Therefore, the same person has to be prosecuted for the same offense and also be punished for the same offense. Then only it would be concluded as the whole legal process. And third, the person has to be punished for the same offense and not for the same act. So, our last topic for today is about self-incrimination under the clause 3 of Article 20 of the Indian Constitution, which states that no person accused of any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. So, now we are going to discuss about the essential requirements of clause 3 of Article 20 of the Indian Constitution, which are as following. First, the person has to be declared as accused of an offence as long as it is falling under the definition of offence. Second, the person has to be compelled, or in simpler words, has to be forced. And third, he has to be witnessed against himself. He has to be forced that he is being witnessed against himself. Then only the clause 3 will be able to protect that person. I would like to add a note over here that in regards of the evidence that protection of clause 3 of Article 20 is just limited to the testimonial evidence and not and this does not extend to the documentary evidence. So here we come to the end of our video. I really hope that you liked it. Please stay tuned, like, comment and share. Thank you.